So for those of you all who are new to us, we are the Sammy, Nicole, and Fifi Show. We are a dynamic mother-daughter duo here on YouTube, and we talk about all things love, life, and relationships on our channel from both the millennial perspective, myself, Sammy Nicole, and the Generation X perspective, Fifi, and yeah, so we took a little break, but we back. So what are we coming to talk to our audience about tonight, Fifi?
Let's talk about that Carly Russell.
Carly Russell.
Hmm
Man, that was a crazy story. So unless you've been living under a rock or you just been taking a break from social media, I think everybody has heard about Carly Russell, the young lady from Alabama. I think she was 24, 25, that allegedly faked her own kidnapping and
Yeah.
allegedly said that she was driving down the road at night in Alabama and she saw a baby walking down the street, a toddler, and she got out of her car to check on the toddler, and then she just disappeared while she was on the right after what she got done talking, calling 911, and was on the phone with her family after that. And she was gone for what, 48 hours, and then turned out that she was never really kidnapped.
She just
Allegedly, she
lied.
lied. Allegedly,
Hmm
everything we're saying is allegedly.
Allegedly.
That was something else. I mean, that was a crazy story. When I first heard about it, I was like praying for her, like, Lord,
We all were.
let them find her because, you may or may not agree, but sometimes when it comes to society and, law enforcement, sometimes they don't put as much resources into looking for certain individuals when they go missing. So that was like a big talk. Like, I hope they actually try to find her. And a lot of people was like, okay, she's getting all this national news coverage. And so people were kind of hopeful, like, maybe they will find her. And some people felt like she was getting all of this national news coverage because she was a nursing student or a PA student, something like that.
Or
She was educated and she was
AKA.
the AKA. And she basically presented well. She didn't have any like
Let me
controversial
just
videos on her social
a
media or anything.
character, she
So
just
people
seemed
felt a little, yeah,
polished.
and because of the selfless act that she did to try to pull over the side of the road in the middle
People
of the
could
night to help
relate,
a toddler, people
yeah.
had more empathy for her because it was a selfless act, allegedly.
And she lied.
Yeah.
And I think it's awful. I think, and the reason why she said she lied, they said she lied allegedly, was to get back at her boyfriend that she had broke up with.
Who
Uh,
was allegedly cheating on her
with the
with an
stripper.
exotic dancer.
A stripper.
Okay. I'm trying to keep it PC. She's talking about stripper.
It's, he was already gone before she allegedly faked this disappearing act. He didn't, he was done with her before then. I mean, just to come up with all of this, the baby and allegedly the baby on the side of the highway, and she going through the woods, and just allegedly, all this allegedly, stuff that it's just, it was just crazy to me that
Mm-hmm.
somebody would, you know,
Go that far.
go that
To that
far
extreme to get attention
from a man,
from an ex partner. Yeah.
from an ex partner that's probably wasn't. You thought you all were in a relationship, but clearly you wasn't.
Ooh.
It was just too much. It was just too much. And then to have all these people out looking for you. I mean, hundreds and hundreds of people looking for you on a manhunt, and then they collected all this money, 63,000 to put towards looking for you, the manpower and paying police officers, and it was just a lot. It was a lot. And some people say allegedly the mom was involved, the dad was involved, allegedly, but we don't know. But it's been a couple of weeks now. We hadn't heard anything else about it. She turned herself in. She could be getting charged with some misdemeanors. They say it's possibly she'll get probation, slapped on the hand, maybe, serve a year, whatever, whatever, if that. But that was just too much. It took a toll on all of us. And the sad part is that they don't come looking for brown women like us. I mean, like they did for her. They really, really looked for her. I don't know what was so different about her.
Her image. I already told you that. And then because she did a selfless act trying to help a child. That's what it was.
But they got on it immediately looking for her. And it's just sad that all of it allegedly was, everything that we say allegedly was just fabricated by her. And it's embarrassing. It's just embarrassing. And it's just uncouth and tacky. Girl, he ain't gonna be the first that don't want you, and go on. I mean, it's just too much. Something is definitely wrong with her
mentally and emotionally.
Emotionally, yeah. She needs help, and I hope she gets the help that she needs. I hope her mom gets the help that she needs, because if she had anything to do with it, allegedly, she stood in front of those cameras. I mean, it was like she was devastated by her daughter. And my heart was hurting for her, because I have a daughter. It was just too much, y'all. It was just too much. And, mental illness is real, y'all. Get help. Get the help that you need. It's nothing wrong with sitting down with a therapist to talk your things out, to talk your feelings out. Life will be throw you punches, and
yes, it will. Ooh, child, life be lifing.
Yes, and you just gotta roll with it, but get help. Don't just come up with these stories and get all these people involved. And it was just awful. It was just awful, and and this will probably be with her for the rest of her life.
For sure.
Her face will never be forgotten. I mean, it was all over, probably all over the world, and it's just sad that she allegedly lost her job because she was doing some things over there, allegedly, and she allegedly flunked out of nursing school. So it was just a lot. The young lady needs some help, and I hope she gets the help that she needs. And she need a behind whoop too.
Oh my Fifi, Lord have mercy.
Cause that was too much.
All right. So what do you want to talk about next? You got anything else you want to say about Carly Russell? I just pray she get the help that she needs.
I do too.
If she need to pay restitution, let her pay it. But she's not the first person to allegedly fake a kidnapping.
Caucasian women have done it too, and have gotten a Lifetime movie from doing it.
Right. So
I've watched a Lifetime movie.
I watched a few, yeah. So we'll see what her punishment, if it will be likened to theirs, but
I don't know.
But
I think it was too much. Sometimes it's just too much, and sometimes I don't know.
You don't know. Okay. So what you think about this Montgomery, Alabama riverboat?
Oh.
Is it has been all over social media this last 2 weeks or last
I think that history finally came full circle. Here's the thing with that. Y'all, it's
last week. It happened last week.
It's a different time. Your generation is different. My generation is different from previous generations. We just not finna allow that. And then back, in slavery, there was a lot of them that fall back to.
Yeah, slave results. Yeah, don't insult them. I think when people say, "Oh,
we're not our ancestors,"
they don't know their history.
Yeah, but I think that
it's kind of ignorant to say.
That's ignorant to say. But I don't condone violence, but I do condone getting your lick back. That I do condone get your lick back.
All right.
I do condone getting the last lick, but I think that they asked for it. They thought they were entitled. Now your boat is pulling up to the dock, and you got this big ferry that's finna come to the dock. Ma'am, sir, can you move your boat? They
Yeah.
break out talking about hell nah.
And allegedly, they called the security guard the N word.
Yeah,
Because he
allegedly.
was just trying to do his job. Like, hey, y'all can't park here. Like, can you go
Yeah.
down there? The ferry's coming.
Now you got
And
your
they were
little
holding
boat,
up the ferry, the riverboat.
the river boat. You got your little boat, and you gonna hold up this big boat because you feel like you entitled. So they got what they got. They found out about it. And I just think that I was just so glad that our people came, and we just already ready because of things that have been happening, and then young people are just in a state of mind where they hostile, they ready to ready set go, just anything happens. So they got what they got. I'm not gonna go into it too much because they got what they got. And I don't feel no type of way about it. And they should have got it. Because that was just uncalled for. All they had to do was move the boat. And then my thing is, you think you just going to jump on somebody and get away with it? In this day and time? I think they got away easy with just getting an ass whooping. Because they could have got a couple pows. I think an ass whooping was a gentle lesson.
They got off lightly.
They got off lightly with an ass whooping. Because it could have been worse. It could have been worse. I don't condone violence. We don't condone violence on this channel.
We do not.
We do not.
We come in peace.
We come in peace.
Let's need you ready for war.
We don't condone it. I don't condone it, but I condone getting your lick back. You're supposed to get your lick. You get what you get, because you shouldn't be running up on people, picking with people. And I say it all the time. Leave people alone.
Yeah. And it shows a lot about, not having respect for other people.
Yes.
And then they were drunk too, which
Right.
is another concern. You're operating a boat.
Right.
Intoxicated.
Right. So they should
another safety issue, and I think they should also be reprimanded for that too.
Right. They shouldn't even been on the water.
They really shouldn't have.
Nope.
It was just a hot mess. But I think what a lot of people were happy to see, like you said, is, black people coming together. 'Cause
Yes.
people always feel like, oh, black people don't come together, and, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So it was, a lot of people felt like it was refreshing
There.
to see that unity, even though, nobody condones violence. But
Nope. We don't condone it. I don't like to see it, but they started it. They started. They should have just went on ahead and did what that man asked them to do.
It was uncalled for them to start jumping the man. That was just barbaric behavior.
Yeah, ghetto.
It was thug behavior. Very aggressive. It was just unnecessary.
Very unnecessary. Very. But that's what I feel about that. And it's just a different time. It's just a different time, and people are just not putting up with certain things like that, more so now. So
I don't think they ever. I mean, you've always had people who never were putting up with it.
yeah,
I just think now, because of social media, you see it more. But then
You see
again,
it
we
more.
still see videos of black people being antagonized and harassed, and they don't do
all
anything.
the time.
And then we always in the comment like, I wish that was me. That was me. I da 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 da. So we got to be careful, because some of us are still like that, where
Afraid.
Like, that made me think about that video of that young man who's at that football game, and that white lady was like getting in his face, like yelling, screaming, and everything, and everybody was like congratulating him for not like physically reacting to her. But I'm like, I don't think it was because of that. I think he knew the punishment was going to be severe. I'm like, if that would have been a black woman, he probably would have been right back in her face. Probably would have popped her.
Probably so.
I feel like the only reason he wasn't matching her energy was because he was afraid of the repercussions.
Yeah.
So we see examples like that all the time. Where black people are being calm because they know their life depends on it.
The outcome.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, hmm. Y'all had a field day with the memes,
Yes, the chair.
the chair.
Oh my goodness, it's the chair. And the man turned himself in.
He got released.
Oh, he
He
did.
bonded out. Yeah, he got
Good,
released.
good, 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 good.
So y'all gonna start a GoFundMe to help everybody legal fees. Y'all sharing the memes about how proud y'all are.
I'm
Doing
glad. I'm glad.
T-shirts.
And then some. Then it was some Caucasian guy was saying, you know, all of you guys are cheering on the video of that man beating that woman with the chair. Okay, what about what they did to our black women? What y'all did to our black women?
Yeah, and there were women that were hit in that video too.
Exactly.
Black women.
So what are you all talking about? I mean, it's always, you know, I don't want to say anything, but it's like they're so entitled. I just don't get it. Mm. It just, it's just awful.
I don't know. It just it's unfortunate to see that, like the lack of humanity that we
Mm-hmm.
have for each other. You know, like where we just think we can say and do anything to each
Anything
other. It's just disgusting. You know, we're all human beings, and it's just sad.
or
It really is, and it's exhausting. You
very,
know, you just want to be able to exist
and why
and
should
not
I
have to
fear
worry.
you? What?
Yeah. Like, can I just be a human being? Like, you know what I mean? Like, why do I have to bow down to you all because of the color of my skin? It's just exhausting.
Very.
It really is.
It gets to be too much.
And it's stressful.
Mm-hmm.
It really is. It's just like, leave me alone. Like, I don't want to deal with this ignorance. Like, you know, like that man was just doing his job. Like he wasn't even trying to. He wasn't the aggressor. And then because you felt like because he was an employee, he was black, you could do and say anything to him and beat on him. And it's just disgusting
And
behavior.
not only
It's
did you
evil
tell
and
him
it's
you
wicked.
wasn't moving, but you gonna get out of your boat and jump in?
Yeah, call him an N word. It's just evil and wicked. It really is. It's just unnecessary. Just lack of humanity. No regard for another human being. It's just like savages. Just
Yes.
barbaric.
Barbaric, very barbaric.
It's just, and of course, that's human nature. You want to defend yourself. You know, it's like they could have killed that man.
Mm-hmm.
They could have beat him to death. And we know there's a history of that.
Yeah.
People literally being beaten to death. You know, so it's just.
And then
sad.
the women, the women that were with him jumping in and kicking him.
Yeah.
It was just awful. And I hope
What
they
is
get.
wrong with
I hope
you?
justice
Really?
prevail and they get what they supposed to get. Cause that's awful. Like I said, they got off lucky. They better be glad that they got off real lucky. Or they just got their tail whooped. Because it could have been, that could have been a bad situation. It really could have been.
It's just sad.
Mm-hmm.
It's sad, but we'll see how things play out legally.
Yeah, we'll see.
It'll be interesting to see like who all gets held accountable and
So,
how it plays out in the court of law. I'll be sitting back watching.
so you want to talk about dating and getting to know people?
Oh yeah. So y'all, we just having like a chit chat. So we're talking about a lot of things. Okay. So yeah, did you want to start it off? Like, okay, just talking about like dating and getting to know people and how like sometimes when you move too fast in dating, you may like miss certain like red flags about people and like how they are, how they behave. So we was just talking about that because we recently a social media influencer that we follow, we saw that she had a pretty quick engagement, and a couple of months down the line she found out that her partner, he had some mental health issues that he was struggling with, and so she decided to call up the engagement and the wedding. So Fifi and I were just talking about it, how, you know, like how do you um
Well, I
control
knew
those
something was wrong
emotions
when she said
when
it.
you meet somebody that you really like and they want to move fast. Like, how do you balance that out to where you're cautious but you're not overly cautious to where you may miss out on a good thing, especially if it's something that you feel like you've been praying for and manifesting? Like, how do you maneuver that? to where you're not moving too fast, but you're also not moving too slow either, where you miss out on that opportunity that you've been hoping and wishing and praying for.
Well, when I knew something wasn't right because it was just too fast. I mean, you met him a couple of weeks ago, and you're already just about staying at his house, and he's asked you to marry him, and you hadn't even known him 30 days. And not to say that when you get to know when you do know somebody, they don't change, but it's better to get to know them for a period of time, because you will see more and more red flags, if there are any red flags that are deal breakers for you. So I just think that you just need to get to know people, and like Samantha always say, you need to go through all the seasons with
All
some,
4 seasons, yes.
all 4 seasons, and I
spring,
think
summer, fall, and winter. So you know what you're dealing with.
So you know what you're dealing with. Now, like I said, people change. Sometimes people can really cover up for a while, but eventually people are going to show you who they are. It's going to come out eventually. So don't be in such a hurry to make commitments like getting engaged, or or wanting to get
like, don't be so anxious.
Don't be so anxious to move in, so quick to move in with somebody, and you just really don't know people. Just take your time and date. I say date. What's wrong with dating? Everybody's is even at my age. I know we feel like, when you're in your latter years, you feel like you gotta hurry up. Time is running out, but it's better to be safe than sorry and put yourself in a situation. And I think this lady put herself in a situation. She had already committed to engagement and getting married and buying her dress, and she hadn't even really known this man a good 6 months.
So you said something that really stuck out to me that I want you to unpack about time is running out. Can you talk more about that? You being a Generation Xer.
Well, you feel like, well, I don't. Mm-hmm. I think I will say this: time is of the essence. Time is of essence. I don't say time is running out, but most people, I hear most people my age, they say, well, my I got I got lesser days, more days behind in front of me than I do behind me. So meaning that some people think when you get in your 50s or your 60s that you're not gonna find anybody, or you're not gonna meet anybody, or you're getting older. But that in my mind, I'm 25, so time is never running out for me.
All right, 25-year-old.
So, but some people feel like that's pressure for them. I'm getting older. It's a lot of women who haven't been married before, or they feel like they want, they don't want to be alone in their golden years. So, they just get anxious, and I think that's what happened. I think she just felt like, what she said, she had been on 43 dates. Mm-hmm. And she just felt like, that this guy had everything that she wanted. He offered. But as time went on, he started to show these mental illness behavior, mental illness behavior that she was not aware of. But if she had not committed to engagement, getting married, going to buy a dress, and just dated him, those things would have came out, and she would have known. And you get yourself so involved in a person, and so you start to bring your lives together. And I think that's what she did, because she pretty much had moved into his place. And and you just got to get to know people, because sooner or later you'll see some red flags or some deal breakers, the things that you don't want to deal with. But I think just rushing just to say, I got a man, I'm dating. And sometime, y'all, it's better to be at peace. I'm going to say it again. Peace is priceless. Mm-hmm. To deal with, what she say she was dealing with, and this man, mental illness, he was getting aggressive with her, and schizophrenic, behavior, and bipolar behavior, anxiety, and which can be controlled if you take your meds. But a lot of people won't take their medication. A lot of people like to self-medicate. So he was older, like she said. He's stuck in his ways and not want to listen to her. And so she got herself in a situation that she had to pull herself out of. And I think it was just, she moved too fast. She moved too fast because, she felt a little anxious, for her age, so.
And that can happen at any age, feeling anxious and unsure about the future.
Yeah, but
I had those moments myself.
Yeah, but I think that she felt like, I've been dating all these guys and I hadn't found anybody. And my thing is, no, at that age, at my age, if I see somebody rush and ask me to marry them after 2 weeks,
your spidey sense is gonna go up.
At this big age of mine. And she's just a couple of years younger than me, so she should have known better.
Well, let's unpack that. What you may not have, honestly, may not have known better. I mean, let's talk about that, where people feel like
and
because
she
you're
said
a certain
he didn't
age,
give her a ring. He gave her like
a
paper. He had made a ring out of a piece of paper.
The first time.
First time he asked her. Yeah. I would have thought that was a little strange.
Yeah.
For a 61-year-old man to do something like that.
But let's talk about that. How we always feel like, okay, if you're a certain age, you should know better. But a lot of times you don't. You know what you know.
You know what you know.
So is that fair to say? I don't know.
You know what you know.
Shame people?
I'm not trying to shame people, but life experiences should teach you something. Now, here's the thing. For example, with you've seen me experience a lot of things in life. So it's a lot of things you should know better. Because you have seen your mama go through it, right? So sometimes you just should experience other people's experiences and seeing things. You should know better. Or another thing, your intuition should kick in. Now, I only known this man for 2 weeks. He picks me up from the airport, and he has a paper ring, a ring made out of paper. And he says, "Can you marry me while we are in front of the airport?" I only known you for 2 weeks. Why the hell you giving me a paper ring? I'm 50-something and you 60. What are we doing? I mean, that screams to me something is not right up. To me now. Something is not quite clicking somewhere. Now, that's just me. I would have been, but she said, yeah. So why did she feel the need to say yeah? Because he checked off all the other boxes that she wanted. But y'all, mental illness is real. You have to get to know people. I'm telling you, you really have to get to know people and talk to people. Find out their background. Later on, she found out that he really didn't have a relationship with anybody. And his daughter knew he had issues. But didn't say anything to her. So what? She's what? February, we're August, we're 6 months in now. And you find out that this man, after you ain't got engaged, after you ain't bought your wedding dress and set a date to get married, you find out this man has mental illness issues. But if you would have just dated him and courted him for 6 months, then you would have known that, and you wouldn't be fully invested with an engagement, with a dress, coming on telling people, you're not getting married, it's this, it's that. If you would have just gotten to know him. Now, that's just me. Like you said, maybe she didn't know for whatever reason. She thought it was okay for a 62-year-old man to make an engagement ring out of paper and propose to her.
All right, Fifi. She a trip.
I mean, am I wrong?
No, that's your opinion.
I mean, at your age, would you have thought that was...
Yeah, I would have been like, we need to go to Zales. Like,
and then when he bought her one, it wasn't, and I'm not knocking a ring because I've had, It's not the ring. It's not the ring. The ring is just a token of love, just a symbol of love. It has nothing to do with how the person feels about you, if they're going to be loyal or committed to you or honor you. That jewelry is just a token. It's nothing. It means nothing. But it's just a simple fact that where is his mind, his mental space or mind space to, why couldn't you just wait and go get me a ring and propose to me? Why did you have to make a engagement ring out of paper and propose to me when you picked me up from the airport, sitting in front of the airport in the car after 2 weeks of knowing me?
Mm-hmm.
So no, and you know what? After he would have dropped me off at home, I probably would have blocked him.
You are good to block.
Yeah, I will block you. I will block. I'm the type. I'll be cordial with you. I won't be rude or ugly. And I won't say, I'm not interested. I'll just, I'll give you my number and kiki with you for, yeah. I might even let you take me out.
Ooh.
But if some red, I'm just now at this point, I'm just
You trusting your
instinct,
intuition.
my intuition by going to therapy and just my experiences. If I see any red flags, with dating, it's like, no, block. I'll just, I'll talk to you, be cordial, but I'm not gonna waste my time and I'm not gonna waste your time because I'll end up, getting agitated about it, getting irritable about it, talking to you because I'm not interested in you. So I just, block you. And some people you can say, well, I'm not the type to come out and say, you know what, I don't think it's gonna work. Or
why is that?
Because
Is
men
it
do it all
awkward
the
or
time. Men do
uncomfortable to
it
you?
all the time,
Or
don't
you
you?
don't feel like you have to.
I don't feel like I have to. I don't feel like I owe you an explanation because I really don't know you. And I'll just stop. I'll just block you or won't call you anymore. Hope you won't contact me anymore. And I'm okay with that because I know my peace. I know what peace feels like now through my healing journey. I don't want to be agitated. I don't want to be aggravated. I don't want to be none of that. If I'm not interested in you, I don't like you, I I just block you. You know?
Okay.
And I think that's what she should have did. I think when he pulled that stunt about, can you marry me in 2 weeks with a paper ring, I would have politely let him drop me off at home.
Mm-hmm.
And I would have never talked to him again because in my mind, I would have been thinking, something's wrong with this man. Something ain't right. And, she said, she noticed things as time went on. Okay, so as time went on, you start to see all these red flags that show signs of mental illness. Why did you keep on? You know what I'm saying? Why did you keep dealing with this man? It could have been really dangerous for her.
It could have.
Well, what she said she thought he allegedly has, it could have really been bad for her.
Mm-hmm.
So I think, ladies, we have to not ignore the red flags for whatever reason because we are anxious or excited because the man checks off some of the boxes, but mental illness is real and you have to get to know people, and people have, been through a lot since COVID. People go through things, have childhood, things that they went through that they never dealt with, and it comes out in adulthood. And a lot of men, because they have been taught not to express how they feel
Suppress
or
their feelings.
yeah. A lot of men, because they haven't been taught how to express how they feel or hadn't been told that you can go get help, you can go to therapy. So it's a lot of mental illness out there. So I just think that when we're dating, we really have to be careful and not ignore the red flags just because we want to be in a relationship. Because it can come back to hunt you, and I think that's what happened with her.
Mm-hmm.
It came back to hunt her. She had got too knee deep in, The man had a gorgeous house. He checked off all the boxes. I mean, they were doing things together. I think she said he even helped her get a truck, or she had one of his trucks. I mean, he was just helping her, and he enhanced her lifestyle, and she got comfortable with that. But that it was a price to pay for that, and the price was she didn't get to know him up front. So
Well, I think it's unfortunate, especially when you finally feel like you've met your person and then it doesn't work out. It's just very disappointing.
It's
and
very disappointing.
But you have to like pay attention to the signs because, like Kiki said, you don't want to have to pay that heavy price. So it's just unfortunate.
It's
like, dang, and now I gotta get back out there again. Thought I found something.
Well,
found someone. I gotta throw the fish back. But God knows what's best, and that obviously wasn't for you.
Well,
that was a lesson.
She got, sometimes rejection is
God's protection. It is.
So that's why, it's like God be working behind the scenes. But I think, now this is just my opinion, I think she was old enough to know better. That just from...
So hashtag you should have known better. You sticking to that belief.
Just from listening to, I don't know the lady personally, but just listening to her, she's on social media a lot, and just listening to her talk, and she doesn't seem like she's shielded. Some people are,
that she grew up shielded.
Yeah,
like she green.
Okay. She just should have known better. I think personally that she knew that he had all these things, and that's why I always say everything that glitter is not gold.
No, it's not.
Okay, this man had all these things, and we want things. I like things too, but I'm not willing to.
I like things too.
I'm not willing to give up my peace and my safety for things. To be in a big house. I've had all that. I've lived in a $500,000 home and had all the things.
And you've been comfortable, and you had to make a hard decision to leave because at first you didn't want to.
Because at first, right, let's talk about that. I've been comfortable and had all the things. Nice home, bills paid for, not wanting for anything, being provided for. But not being comfortable and in a bad situation, something that's unsafe or not bringing me peace, I was willing to give up all of that. And people often ask me, you gonna do this? You gonna leave all that? Yeah. And it's been 4 or 5 years now, and I'm fine. It's nothing like a peace of mind, and and I didn't really lose anything. I've gained a lot, actually. Because I'm better off than what I thought I was. Being in a marriage like that where I had all the things and not, having peace and not being comfortable, and not being respected. And so sometimes, y'all, peace and outweighs all the things. You gotta act. Do I want peace? Do I want to be safe? Do I want to be able to? I tell Samantha all the time, when I lay down at night, it's nothing like laying down and being able to lay in my bed and have peace. If I want to be bothered with a man, I can. If I don't have to. I make that decision. If I want to chill with my friend, chill with my man, I can. If I don't, I don't. So it's nothing like peace. Peace is priceless, ladies.
And gentlemen
for everybody. Yeah. So pick peace over things. And, being able to walk away from a situation and have peace and still live comfortable and, be able to do the things that I want to do, be able to go out and make major purchases on my own. And, I thank God that I'm educated and I have an MBA. And I went to school, you know, and I'm able to, you know, God has provided for me to, you know, to have an income now because I did go to school and earn my MBA. So, but you know, I just say all that, you know, ladies, position yourself. Position yourself to have peace. Okay. I'm
All
through with
right.
it.
All right. I think that's a good note to end on. On that note, y'all, I'm Sammy Nicole. This is Fifi. We are the Sammy Nicole and Fifi Show. We talk about all things love, life, relationships, and pop culture. And if you haven't already, please be sure to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And yeah, leave us some comments down below. Let us know what you think. All right. Until next time, y'all. Peace.
Bye.
Bye.